So welcome to the Desk Connect Office Hours webinar. We're going to talk about how to synchronize your data between Desk and Salesforce. My name is Amrita, and I am the Customer Wow Specialist within the team. So what I do is I help customers sync their data between Desk and Salesforce, essentially set Desk Connect up, uh, and then help with the configuration, understand your business model, provide recommendation and best practices, and then help you set up your Desk Connect org, and then also help you troubleshoot. So we're going to talk about Desk Connect, why we need it, what it provides you for your org, why you need it, and how can you set it up, and how easy it is to actually set it up in Salesforce. All right, let me show my screen in just a bit again. Make sure everyone's seeing and hearing me. All right, so the agenda for today is first we'll go over the training and demo, which basically means the slides. And then that will be followed by a demo, which would be, I will be showing you in my own test org how I can enable Desk Connect in my own Salesforce org, what I really need to do about Desk Connect. And then Q&A from you guys. You can ask me questions and I will be able to answer, hopefully I'm able to answer all of them. And then the best part about today's webinar is it's going to be recorded. So we will be posting the recording on our support center site very soon. I will let you know about it. All right, so let's get started. What is Desk Connect? So Desk Connect is a bidirectional sync of three standard objects that exist both in Desk and Salesforce. And they are cases, contacts, and accounts. So cases is the primary focus here because we're going to be syncing cases over from Desk to Salesforce and vice versa. And since cases have a strong association with contacts and accounts, because you cannot have a case without a contact, so we also sync contacts and accounts between the two orgs. So just to give you a quick overview, so object mapping, so what exactly happens at the object level. So at the object level, let's say, for example, the left-hand side here is the Salesforce end, and the right-hand side is the Desk end. So in Salesforce, what you call account is actually what we call company in Desk. So all our companies in Desk are actually accounts in Salesforce, and they also will be syncing directly when cases are syncing. And then the easier one is contact and customer. We all know that cases are associated with owned by contacts and in Salesforce, whereas in Desk, cases are owned by customers or cases belong to customers. And then cases in Salesforce are mapped to cases, which is like the easiest. Email messages and map to case interactions. So in Desk, when you have cases and you have inbound and outbound messages on those cases, we call them case interactions. In Salesforce, we call them email messages because you have an email related list where you can see all your email messages. So that's why case interactions in Desk will map to email messages in Salesforce. Case notes to case comments. So you have, how this, we have like a yellow note that you can have in the classic agent in Desk, or like it looks like a note in NextGen as well. You can leave notes for your agents. Those notes essentially get synced to Salesforce as case comments because essentially they are comments. They are internal comments for internal agents or users. So case comments in Salesforce are also are mapped with case notes in Desk. Why connect sales and service? So what is the purpose of Desk Connect? Why did we think that it's important to link both our Desk and Salesforce orgs? So our first and foremost objective here is a 360-degree view of the customer. And why is it important? It's important for the sales and services teams to work in a way that's more organized, that gives them an entire view of the customer instead of only knowing the sales part or the services part. So let's take a look. Why is it important for the sales team to use Desk Connect? With Desk Connect, your sales team can fully understand customers' business processes and needs. because they are actually looking at cases that one of the support reps may have created or resolved. So not only are they able to see contact data or order or purchase or anything, but they're also able to see Service Cloud information, or they're also able to see the help, the support information about this customer. What kind of cases did this customer create? What is their business need? Know the customer's configuration plan. So what does the customer's business process look like? What do they need to configure? What kind of a subscription should I put them on? Or what kind of a plan should they be on? How many users do they have? All of this information will be recorded as cases if the customer ever reached out to support. Support will log a case, and that will be seen by the sales team. That makes for the sales team easier for them to make decisions. And then again, customer address customer problems quickly and efficiently. So say if you have, if the sales team is able to look at all cases and all the data that the support team logged, why wouldn't they be able to address customer questions quickly, right? So that's what makes them efficient. The services team or the support team, how can they benefit from Desk Connect? They can definitely have better conversations with customers. So oftentimes when you receive a support case, it's just a question about something about the product, but sometimes it's also important to know what plan the customer is on, how big the customer is, how important the customer is, what is the customer's psyche about your product. Is he liking it, or is he having a lot of issues? How did the customer get on board with your product? So all of this information is with the sales team, and the sales team logs all of this information, but this information comes to the support rep and sitting in Desk via Desk Connect. So they're able to see all of the customer and the company data sitting in one place in Desk, not needing to go to Salesforce and look at it. And then understand the full customer sale history, like I just said, understand where the customer is coming from, whether they're how many users they have, how did the sale go, etc., etc. So oftentimes you want to talk to the sales executive about how this customer psych is, and without even talking to the sales rep, you can just find out information about this customer in Desk itself. And then again, you can be more efficient. You can avoid back and forth between the sales team and the customer. So that just makes you more efficient and increases your productivity because you're able to see every single information, even relating to the account in Salesforce into Desk. So now we're going to deep dive into Desk Connect, and like let's say you've made up your mind to enable Desk Connect. So now we're going to talk about what you really need, pre-enablement and post-enablement for Desk Connect. So important things to consider pre-enablement. So this is kind of like things to think of before you go ahead and enable Desk Connect or turn Desk Connect on. So like I said in my previous slide, there are three things you really need to know about the customer, or the customer, I mean, you guys need to know about your org before you make a decision about turning Desk Connect on. What's your business process like? So with that, I mean, do you have a lot of data in Salesforce, or do you have a lot of data in Desk? Do you want bi-directional sync, or you only want single direction sync? What is your configuration like? How many custom fields do you have? How many custom fields do I have for my contacts or accounts? Or how many workflows or validation rules do I have? Workflows and validations actually do not matter, but sometimes they matter when you have a custom field driving a workflow action. And if that custom field is going to be coming from Desk, then you need to be aware of that the decision about the rule action is actually going to be coming from Desk. Let's see if I have a message or a question. Okay, I will be taking all of your questions in the end of the call. So just give me a few minutes before I finish the demo, and then I'll be taking the questions. All right, so configuration and then data. So data basically means if you have pre-existing data in Salesforce or Desk, I just wanted to tell you, Desk Connect only syncs current or newly created or updated data into the other org. So like for example, you have your Salesforce org and you have your Desk org. Today you wanted to start using Desk Connect. You cannot have all the Salesforce data that you have in Salesforce, like account list of companies. You cannot have them sync to Desk immediately because that would be historical sync, and we don't support historical sync at the moment. So what we recommend is you do a one-time export import of the data. Make sure that your data in Salesforce is exactly what you have in Desk, and then start with Desk Connect. So then when you start with Desk Connect, what happens is after the point Desk Connect is turned on, then if you were to create a new account in Salesforce, that should sync to Desk using Desk Connect. But if you had an older account that you expected to sync, that's not going to happen. So that's why we bring this point up with data. Make sure that you have mirror images of your data in Desk and Salesforce before you start Desk Connect on. It's just a best practice or recommendation to do that. Some customers are still okay with keeping old data in Desk or Salesforce. If you're not going to need it in the other org, that's completely fine by us. But if you really are looking forward to seeing everything from your previous org to your next org, then this is important. All right. Important things to consider from the Desk side pre-enablement. So Desk Connect enabled from config settings with support or AE. So this is something that we do from our end. So once you're ready to enable Desk Connect, just let us know. You can email us at support@desk.com. You can tell your account executive about it. There are lots of ways to do that. So just let us know once that you want Desk Connect on, we'll do the rest for you. Desk plan needs to be pro or above. I'm pretty sure all of you know that. We don't have Desk Connect for the standard plan. So even if you're trialing Desk Connect, make sure that you're on the pro trial, not on the standard trial. And then, like I said, historical sync is not supported. So I covered that in my previous slide already. No closed or deleted cases waiting to sync. So we do not support the sync of closed or deleted cases at this time. So that's because the way Desk understands closed cases is different from the way Salesforce understands closed cases. It's simple differences. In Desk, you cannot reopen a closed case, but in Salesforce, you can. So this would have caused a major mess if we were to sync closed cases. So our team decided we cannot sync closed cases because of the way they're configured. Advanced company settings, auto create companies is considered. So make sure that you have considered this. This is something that happens when you have the auto create companies turned on. So this happens when you have a company, let's say called Walmart.com in Desk, and then you have Walmart Inc. As an account in Salesforce, right? So it's the same company or the same account. But what happens is when you have the auto create turned on, and a new, I mean, let's assume that you did not have Walmart as a customer, sorry, as a company in Desk, but a customer from Walmart emailed you, and what Desk did was it created a company on its own, and then it picked the domain of the customer's email address. So it picked Walmart.com as the company name, and it saved Walmart.com as the company name. That works perfectly if you're not using Salesforce or Desk Connect. But the moment you start using Desk Connect, this Walmart.com is going to sync to Salesforce. It's not going to find a match for Walmart.com, and it's not going to look for Walmart Inc. So it's going to create a new account called Walmart.com in Salesforce. And then you end up having a Walmart Inc. and then a Walmart.com as a duplicate in Salesforce. So we tell you that to turn off the auto create companies setting in Desk, and then you can totally avoid this issue. Selective sync has been evaluated. So I'll talk about selective sync just in a bit when I'm showing you the demo. And then older integration has been turned off. So we had something called Salesforce integration or the managed package, which we rolled out much before Desk Connect. So our recommendation now is if you have the older integration, Desk Connect wouldn't run smoothly because you have contacts and leads, and then that confuses Desk Connect. So we recommend as a best practice to turn the old integration off if you want to Desk Connect, if you wanted to use Desk Connect. From the Salesforce end, what do you need to do from the Salesforce end? Again, you need to be on the professional plan or above. And then a few things in Salesforce that you would need to do. I'll be showing that in the demo as well. So standard fields for status and priority are formatted to reflect Desk values. So in Desk we call the status and priority fields as default fields, which means that the desk engineers have built those and we have no control over those. In Salesforce, however, we do have the user does have control over status and priority, and that's why we say that if you want to map sales the status fields together, then make sure that all of the desk values that you have in Desk are also in Salesforce. So for priority, we have 1 through 10 in Desk, but we have high, medium, low, which is fine. In status, we want you to add the new, open, pending, and resolved status values in Salesforce. I'll be showing that to you in just a second. Add the case related list to the contact and account layout. So just add the related list for cases under the contact and account, so you're able to see cases under the account. I'll be showing that in the demo as well. Just for troubleshooting purposes, the integration user has a full administrator profile in Salesforce. So, sometimes we have integration users who have field restrictions or record permissions or things like that. We recommend that, whoever, if you wanted to connect the two orgs, make sure that the integration user is actually the full system administrator that you're using for the connection. The profile has modify all access. Like I said, no permissions, no restrictions on the user profile. So make sure the person who is your administrator in Salesforce, if he can be the integration user, that will be the perfect scenario. Ensure that there are no validation rules that block record creations. So a lot of customers we've seen that have validation rules for a lot of things that actually have a rule action that prevents the record from getting created. We would recommend you or ask you to revisit those validation rules, because then if the validation rules were to run in Salesforce for cases that are coming from Desk, then they would potentially avoid those cases from getting created in Salesforce. And then that leaves you wondering, why the hell didn't my case sync? It's because of the validation rules. So, all right. Important things to consider post enablement. So once you have enabled Desk Connect, you've read all of you've considered the field data, the field, the configuration. What happens next? So I think I've already covered a lot of these. So again, new and edited record, only new and edited records are synced. Custom fields need to be mapped. So the advantage that Desk Connect gives you is that you can sync any number of custom fields from your case, contact, or account objects from Desk into Salesforce and vice versa. And then you can also sync the Desk case ID and Desk agent field. So one thing I wanted to tell you is the Desk case ID is not mappable to Salesforce case IDs. Salesforce has its own series of case IDs and Desk has its own. So you can still map the Desk case ID into a custom field, and we'll go over that. There's an FAQ that we've created, and it's really easy to set that up. So I'll be talking about that in just a sec. Something to consider is syncing time. So Desk to Salesforce is immediate. So if you create a case in Desk, you can immediately see that case created in Salesforce. However, the other way around, if you create something in Salesforce, it takes about 5 minutes for that to sync to Desk. And that's like a Salesforce time delay for all other integrations. So it's not something we can control, something that Salesforce has told us about. The sync time is always going to be 5 minutes. Standard field mapping. So these are the fields that you do not need to touch after you've enabled Desk Connect. These are mapped automatically. So if you turn Desk Connect on and you don't do any field mapping stuff, you will still be able to see these fields mapped automatically on their own. So the status, priority, subject, and description on the case will be mapped automatically. For the contact, the first and last name, obviously, the email address and the phone number are mapped automatically. And the account, we only sync the account name between the two orgs. From the Salesforce end, you have custom field mapping. I'm just going to go over that real quick because it's all covered. Custom field mapping, so text to text, pick list to list. So what you call pick list in Salesforce can be a list in Desk. A checkbox type field in Salesforce is like a Boolean, like a true and false field in Desk, and a date maps to a date in Desk. Make sure that you select date and not date and time, because that's what we don't map in Desk. Case number is not synced by default, but it can be achieved with the text custom field mapping. And then the best thing about Desk Connect is it does not count against the Salesforce API, so you will not run into Salesforce API errors or a limit reached or anything to do with the user account or anything. And then Like I said, the older integration used to sync with leads, but Desk Connect does not sync with leads. So that's confusing for people who used to use the older integration. That's why I recommend turn the older integration off if you're using Desk Connect. And then again, the last thing is custom objects are not supported. So in my first slide, I told you we sync 3 standard objects: case, contacts, and accounts. So those are the only objects we sync between Desk and Salesforce. And that's why I just want to make it clear. Custom objects are not supported using Desk Connect. Best practice. So I put this slide into this deck because I thought it was important for all of our listeners today to just kind of get an idea. You can probably take a screenshot of this or write this down because it's really important information. Even if you don't do that, we will be posting this recording, so you will see it sometime. But if you want to write this down, feel free to write this down right now. So make sure the integration user is a full-time system admin, like I already said. Review the list of custom fields being used and whether they will require mapping. So look at your custom fields, make a list of what custom fields you need to be mapped. Then so that's easier for you to map them. Review your list of customer and company records in Desk, as well as contacts and accounts in SFDC, to make sure there are no duplicates. So make sure your orgs are clean, like they're all cleaned up. There's no garbage records, no duplicate records, no records that are not required. So make sure you clean up your Desk and Salesforce orgs before turning on Desk Connect. When email to case is enabled in Salesforce, your customers and agents interaction will appear within email messages. So like I said in my first slide, case interactions are essentially saved as email messages. So that's where you'll find them, and I'll show them in the demo as well. And then use selective sync when you want to limit all cases from syncing between orgs. So this is also a cool feature of Desk Connect that I'll be showing you in just a bit. All right, walkthrough time. So demo time. I'm going to show you a quick demo of our desk setup. So we're going to start from the desk end. This is our desk screen, right? Your desk admin looks like this. This is your settings icon. So you want to click on settings. And let's assume that Desk Connect has already been enabled for me from the support side. So I've already done that, and I already have this option here. And I'm sorry, but I've already turned this on. So for you guys, if you have just started with Desk Connect, this will be off, right? For some of you who haven't even started. For some of you who've started and don't know where to go, this will probably be on. And then you'll have 3 tabs here: company, customer, case. And so company tab has, okay, just a reminder, we are at 10:53. So I have to finish this in like 7 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna run real quick. So company tab is Salesforce to Desk, Desk to Salesforce. So these are 6 toggles basically. Company has 2, customer has 2, and case has 2. So basically 6 toggles, 2 each for customer, company, and case. And then every toggle will be Salesforce to Desk and Desk to Salesforce. So basically, this is the independence we give you. You can select what direction you wanted for your data to sync. So like right now, I have everything turned on. I'm syncing my companies and accounts to and fro. I'm syncing customers to and fro, and I'm also syncing cases to and fro. This is the selective sync bit. So I think since we're short in time, you guys can personally write in at support@desk.com, and I'll be able to answer selective sync questions. I'm just going to go through the demo real quick. So and then these are the field mappings. We have case field mappings, and we have, so under cases, we have custom fields. So like I said, you can take a look at your custom fields, make a list, and then come to this area and then map your fields. So I do have a few fields that I can map. However, I have chosen not to map them right now. So I have say for example, I have a custom field called string, called test. In Salesforce, I'm mapping that to a desk custom field called test. So this is an example of a custom field mapping. Like I said, you don't need to touch status, case origin, or priority because those are mapped automatically. And let's just quickly go over customer field mappings. So the same thing for customers, and then the same thing for companies too. And then if you guys have questions, feel free to just post them because I'll start taking questions right away since we're short on time. I'm going to quickly go over the Salesforce side before I answer the first question we have for the day. For the Salesforce end, all you need to do is go under Salesforce, and this is important. So click on customize and then cases and then fields, and then look for priority and make sure that you have high, medium, and low, and that's it. And then go for status and make sure, for status and make sure you have new, open, pending, and resolved. It's okay to not have a closed value if you're going to get confused. So just make sure you have new, open, pending, and resolved as your status values. Next would be adding the case layout. So let's open a case. I'm going to open this case here. All right. So this is my test case. I'm going to open a contact. Let's see. And to add the cases related list onto the contact below, all I need to do is click on edit layout, click on related lists, and then just drag and drop the cases object onto the view below. I already have this saved here. So this just enables you to take a look at your cases right under the contact information in Salesforce. So that brings me to the end of the demo. Again, I apologize for a short demo because we're running out of time. So I'm going to take the very first question for the day. Can Desk Connect be used to migrate from Desk to Salesforce? Yes, it can be. It definitely can be used to migrate. Did you mean migrate, meaning you wanted to push all of your information, like a migration from Desk to Salesforce? Then that would be a no, because the migration would essentially need API scripting, which Desk Connect will definitely not be able to do. So if you really wanted to migrate, your data, then that would be something that a Salesforce and a Desk expert will be able to do, to like migrate and shut off Desk. If you wanted to migrate your data from Desk to Salesforce and turn Desk Connect Desk off later, then that's not what Desk Connect would be meant to do. But if you really need help with migration, just email us at support@desk.com and I'll be able to guide you to the right resource. Oh, yes. So, yes. And then disconnect. So, yes, if you're going to shut off Desk.com, you're not going to be using Desk, and that's why you wanted your information to sit in Salesforce, I would definitely tell you that that would be a migration specialist. So, he will write an API script that will pull all of your Desk information, and then he will be doing a data loader import in Salesforce for you by mapping all of the fields, and that's how you will get your data into Salesforce. No worries, Kavita. My pleasure. If you have more questions around this, feel free to email us. So if you guys have any questions about the demo or anything related to today's webinar that you wanted to ask, maybe you don't have questions now, but you would have questions later, you can email us. Let me show you that deck. Resources. So you can actually email us at support@desk.com, right? We also have a video support center that has lots of videos about lots of products, lots of features on the product. You can check out articles on support.desk.com. Once you go to support.desk.com, just type Desk Connect in the search field, and a lot of articles will come up. And then you can also call us on our support number. And I am the Desk Connect specialist within the team, along with 2 other people. So if you have a Desk Connect question, if you write to support@desk.com, and if you want it to be answered by me, you can put my name, Amrita, in the subject line, and I will be able to answer your questions directly. So that's actually it for today. I'm just going to see if you have any more questions. Yes, we don't. Okay, awesome. So yeah, thank you again, guys, for your patience and for attending this webinar. It was great having all of you. And until the next webinar, so make sure you have your Desk Connect orgs set up, and you've read and you've followed all of the instructions from today's webinar before turning on Desk Connect. And I wish you all the best. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.